G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, as you can see, I'm in my garage, which means I'm installing yet another thing into the Vitara. And that thing in today's video is going to be a Oricom UHF kit. So I wanted to get a hold of one of these for a while since I actually have a little Uniden handheld unit. It's like a 1/2 watt with a 1 watt boost. I'm just sick of that thing running out of battery. And even when it's fully charged, I go to use it and in like half an hour, it's dead. And if I'm out of glassy for 8 hours, it's not really going to do me much good being only useful for one of those hours. So with all that out of the way, let's open up the box and see what comes in the kit. Alright, there is the antenna. Not quite sure what's in there. There's another bracket in that little bit there. Oh yeah, just the instruction manual, and that is the box empty. Alright, so obviously normal stuff. User manual. We've got the first bracket here, which is a bull bar style one, or a tubular nudge bar. Then we've got this one here, which is your normal style, I guess, between the bonnet and the guard sort of mounting. What have we got in here? Alright. So we've got the wiring harness with the fuse and some pins. No actual connector, but we do have pins. Got the bracket for the UHF. Got the actual, oh my god. That is tiny. That's crazy. So that is UHF, which means this should be the handset. That is the handset radio. It actually comes with a mount as well, which is nice. And, oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, that is the actual pin and the fuse. So these little pins in there, they actually go into the back of that. Fairly sure on here it just tells you, obviously, what is positive, what is negative. What else we got? That looks like some mounting hardware. So we got the actual, I guess, whip part of the aerial, which is that fella there. I was kind of hoping that this wasn't going to be chrome, just so I'm not getting absolutely blinded by it, but I dare say in the future I could possibly just wrap a little bit of vinyl over that. Also, got the cable. Oh, that's awesome. It's good to see that they've put the smaller bit on there that screws into this. That way that is easier to get through your firewall. I actually kind of like the fact that you can unscrew the top part. I would assume that it is modular for a reason, whether that is just for packaging in a box so it's not like, you know, the length of the aerial, or whether that is so that you can take this end bit off and then put a smaller bit on for when you're driving around town, or when you know you're going to be going places that you will need the clearance to enter. Alright, so I've modified this bracket a little bit, but I think just from the amount of leverage I have up the top there, I just don't think that aluminium is going to cut it. So I'm going to try and sort of make something similar to that with that one there. So it's been a little bit of time, but that isn't looking too bad. Luckily, if it does touch anything, it'll just be this little vent. So, or maybe the corner of that bonnet there, but still got a little bit of tweaking to do. Although, I don't know why I was downplaying my own aluminium mount so much, because like, fuck, that one moves a fair bit. Now, as we can see there, I didn't really do too much to it. I've still got to try and get this bend here just to come off of the actual guard, because it is probably going to eventually rub through this. Yeah, I can tell you that that definitely is touching the guard, but I'll probably try and flatten this ridge out just a little bit more. Okay, so almost the final fitment. That is how we're looking. Still a little bit of permanent marker on there from when I was marking stuff earlier. I have actually got it on a rubber bush. There you go. But yeah, sitting on a little bit of a rubber bush. I've actually got to find one that's a little bit smaller, because it actually does have it contacting the bonnet. But I did spend way too much time on actually trying to get this bracket perfect. I also sort of messed it up a bit. It looks a bit dirty, a bit shit house, a bit scratched up, but it doesn't matter too much. I can always just get another bracket, do the same thing, and being that I already know what to do with that one, I can just do that to another one. Because yeah, I ain't got no chance trying to bend that in my bench vise. I'm gonna move on from that now, and I'm going to put the actual wire for the antenna through and into the car. I'm going to use the same wiring loom bung that I used for the rear trail light install. So there's already a hole, or there's already like a little slit or something cut in there. Anyway, so we're running these wires. Alright, so I have successfully gotten cord through the firewall grommet. Alright, so that there is the firewall grommet that I've actually run the wiring through. Alright, so one of the next things I need to do is figure out where I'm actually going to put this. I'm going to go grab the actual UHF. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I've got two permanent marker little dashes there, and they line up pretty much with those slotted holes, so still can't get over how compact these are now. I'm going to quickly use the included self-tapping screw looking things, and yeah, we can start moving on to probably some wiring, I dare say. Alright, so I've gotten to the point now where I've undone the wiring harness, and I'm about to actually put these pins into the supplied little plastic connector. Alright, so from what this thing says here, you've got the circular jack at the top and you've got the square one at the bottom. So the square one at the bottom is negative and the round one at the top is positive. Make sure you get that right the first time, otherwise you are not going to have a fun time trying to depin this. I'm only doing that now because I don't actually need to run this through my firewall. I'm not having this UHF on a switch. I'm just going to have it pretty much come on with the accessories. And the way I'm going to do that is by tapping into the signal wire that I installed into the fuse block with a piggyback fuse holder. I installed that signal wire for the switch that operates the relay for the rear trail lights. So I went K-car, got myself some of these. So these are piggyback terminal connectors. They are pretty awesome. Just make it really easy to add things into a system at a later point. So you've got your female terminal bit there, and then you've got a male one on the other side. So you've got this little thing here, so you can plug that into there, and then obviously you can tee off into something else. So it pretty much turns into something like that. Going to work on putting this bundle into the driver's side footwell, and I'm going to have to pull the trim off and everything like that so I can get access to the wiring that I have installed previously for the switch signal. And then from there I can start mounting things. I've got everything hooked up. I've just got to cover this positive terminal. Wait, no, sorry, that's a negative. Everything's red. I also did move the actual UHF as I couldn't really see it. It was up higher. I do have some holes there now though, which is unfortunate. I was just trying to think about my passenger's comfort, but yeah, I don't know. The chair doesn't really go that far forward, so I don't think it should be a problem, but if it is, it's just 2 thumb screws away from taking the actual UHF unit off. Oh yeah, one other thing I did discover with that little UHF cable, they include the adapter for that, but you don't actually need it for this little unit. It just has one of the small connections which was already on the actual antenna cable. Still haven't actually plugged any of this in yet. I probably should get that set up since it's got a little dust boot on it. I've also got to figure out where I'm actually putting the hanger for it. But until then, I'm just going to get back to wrapping all this wiring up. I'll probably put all the dash and stuff back together as well. And then I'm going to find a spot to actually put the UHF handset hanger or mount or whatever it's called. So I figured out what the other screws were for in this pack. So it looks like you can actually use the little nuts and the screws if you want to just have this like double-sided taped onto something. So that's handy because I didn't really want to commit to actually screwing into my dashboard anywhere. So yeah, so that's good now. I've actually got some genuine 3M tape, stuff that holds exterior trim onto cars, so that should be more than enough, more than enough, just to keep this radio situated. Alright, so I've got the UHF little handset thing stuck down with some tape, and yeah, honestly it'll just sit there for now until I actually figure out exactly where I want to put it in the car. Everything is wired up. One cool thing with this is, I believe, hold down this little like page button thing, yep, and it starts coming up with stuff. Alright, so hold that page button in, go past that, now we have colour. So with the actual handheld bit, we can use the up and down arrows and we can change it from a couple of colours. So we've got purple, red, blue, I don't know what UX or UH is meant to be, but anyway. Got yellow, cyan, and green. Back to purple. And then I will be keeping the red in this case. Since I do like my interior, it's all be matching. So obviously I can't really test this at the moment. I'm going to have to go out to Glass House, but that is essentially the install completed. This is just a little bit I thought I'd tack onto the end of the video. So I'm getting a lot of, not interference on the actual UHF when it's broadcasting, but I am getting quite a bit of like sort of noise through the actual radio, like through the speaker. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can sort that out with a noise suppression filter. I've tried grounding it to the battery, tried grounding it to different points in the car. I've also tried grounding it to the battery and putting the lead, like the positive lead, all the way to the battery as well. However, it's still there. It's like a whine that is consistent with the RPM of the engine. So I'm assuming it's this some sort of, I don't know, power interference frequency sort of thing. So, and I'll see if it actually makes a difference. Hopefully it does, because it's actually kind of annoying. It makes the car sound like it has a turbo, but it hits a certain frequency and my ears just start ringing. It is not fun. On the way there, I'll see if I can actually pick up the frequency on the microphone, just to sort of show you what noise it's making. Alright, so I've got the camera set up on top of the, well, the cup holders, so hopefully you should be able to hear it. It's definitely a noise that is directly related to engine RPM, so it's not a fun noise, I'll tell you that much. Alright, so just got back, got this noise filter here. So it does actually say on the back of it that it is for like car radios, UHFs, or they say CB radio, but now that I got that, I'm gonna go wire it in. Excuse the mess, but this is the wiring diagram, so pretty straightforward. We've got the green, which is the 12 volt in to the actual filter. Red is obviously the 12 volt out of the filter, and ground is ground. I'm now going to jump under the dash and see exactly what connectors I need to put on the ends of these. Yeah, I'll jump back on camera when I've got that sorted. Shouldn't take me too long. Well, it's only 3 wires, so not really much to it. Alright, so that is the filter wired in. I'm going to wait to put this all back together. I'm just going to go take it for a drive, see if we still have that electrical noise, and also make sure that all the other buttons and stuff work that are wired to the similar circuit. Hopefully. I don't quite know what's up with the connector at the back of it though, it's been a bit shit. Now I'm going to do the same thing as I did before, where I'm going to go for a little bit of a drive, and essentially we'll see if that noise filter does actually make a difference. Wow. Wow, that actually makes a big difference. No noise at all, like zero. Even if I crank the volume all the way up, nothing. So that's interesting. Yeah, I'd say that's mission successful considering I don't actually hear any of the whining noises anymore. So even if I foot down a bit to get the revs up. Still nothing. Not a single thing. So that's actually great. That is well worth the what was it? I think it was $17, something like that. $17.99 or $95 or something like that. So yeah, bloody oath. That was yeah, that was actually easier than expected. Zero noise, like nothing at all. That's exactly what I wanted. So I'm not quite sure why I'm having that issue. I don't know whether it's just this car or there's interference from something. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but look, I can't complain for, you know, $17. All right, so thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I definitely do appreciate it. Till the next install or off-road video, I'll catch you in the next one.